I mean, I do dry needling, but most of the time they're okay with that.
Yeah. So if their butt cheeks hanging out, it's like a quick, let's get the butt out, needle the butt, put the butt back.
Yeah, yes. You put it that way.
Hey, Danny Matta here with PT Biz, and we're in Dallas, Texas. We're checking out Grit Physical Therapy inside Strength Society. This is Cecilia Wong's place. Really excited to show you what she's doing. She's got access to a really cool gym. She's doing an open treatment model, so we're gonna talk all about how that's working and how she's scaling that. Come on in, let's check it out.
Hey,
All right,
Danny.
what's up? All right, we're here. We're in, this is technically Dallas, or what is this?
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas. We are at Grit Physical Therapy here in Strength Society. Super cool gym. I've been walking around, just taking pictures of it. Like we were talking a second ago, it's just a place where I'd like want to spend some time. But Cecilia Wong's here. We're going to check out her space. She has an open treatment model, which is unique. This is actually, there's a lot of these that we work with. This is going to be the first clinic tour we've done with this. So you get a chance to show kind of like the pros and cons of a treatment model like that, which is more of like open ATC sort of ish kind of treatment model. So tell me this, how long have you been in this space?
I've been here for 3 years, so actually September,
Oh, cool.
exactly 3 years. So yeah, it's been exciting. Met them actually on my way to coffee. There's a nice coffee shop down the way.
Oh, wow.
And saw it and was like, hey, this looks like a...
So you were going to coffee and you poked your head in here
Yeah.
and just were like, hey, this is awesome.
Yeah,
You guys have a physical therapist?
right.
Is that basically how it went down?
It is. And they said, we're actually looking for one. We just haven't had the time. They just started the same time. So they started July of 21. And so then they said, yeah, we just haven't had time to look for one, but let's just sit down and chat. So
Well, let's check it out. So let's walk over to where you typically see patients and all that stuff, and then you can kind of show us around.
3 to 6, I would say, is the biggest time that the youth athletes are in here. So the neat part is sometimes I'll get some of those athletes here. They'll see what I'm doing, and they're like, hey, what's that? Especially baseball guys.
Yeah.
They'll notice one of these athletes that they've seen working out, and they're like, hey, that guy,
Yeah.
what is he doing here? Just taking care of them.
What's the busiest times for you? Because so if you're, obviously if you're an open model, if you're here when there's, a dozen people in here, it's probably a bit challenging.
Yeah.
So like what does your schedule look like, typically?
I do one-on-one, so 1 hour throughout the day. So I'm pretty full throughout the day.
So okay, let's talk about that, because if there's, multiple groups in here doing strength and conditioning,
Yeah.
and you've got a patient, like what is that, is it loud? Is it like kind of hard for you? Because I mean, I've treated people in gyms a lot, and if there's a class going on, like it's like we're at a concert trying to have a conversation.
For sure. I don't know if it's that loud.
Yeah.
Because it's not they don't ever do group classes.
Right.
So there's 3 owners here and then another trainer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can get loud. I let them know, hey, I have an eval today. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit.
Yeah.
Generally, we communicate.
That's cool. So, all right, is there ever a time where you use a closed space or need a closed space?
For sure. I mean, I do dry needling, but most of the time they're okay with that.
Yeah. So if their butt cheeks hanging out, it's like a quick,
Yeah.
let's get the butt out, needle the butt, put the butt back.
You put it that way.
So is there anything besides that you've run into? So there's like a little bit of noise, a little bit of like privacy difference, but other than that,
Yeah.
you really like this model.
Yeah.
So, and you've been here for a couple of years then, right? So like, for you, when you're treating people, how much time is spent here and how much time are you doing like, actual like kind of corrective stuff or strength and conditioning stuff for them?
It depends on where they are in the continuum.
Yeah.
So if they're very beginning, they're in red hot pain, we might spend a little bit more time. We might talk through I use that time, the manual therapy time, to talk through what do we need to modify?
Right.
What reinforce goals? So in the beginning, it might be half and half. But I do want to get them on the floor because that's the best sticking period, to retrain something. So I give them that preface, hey, today we spent an eval, we spent a lot of time on the table, but next time we're going to do it more even split. After the pandemic, I looked for a job that was not just a staff PT, and tried it out. I was like, this is not for me. And the reason it was not for me, it was just like, I have a team to take care of, but I'm also the only PT on staff.
Right.
So how do I manage people, make sure they're taken care of, also be the liaisons to the owner and management, and then also treat all these people.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it was a lot. So
what's your plans here? So are you going to split time, try to stay here and split, the hours that you're here with another staff clinician when you bring them on?
I would try to almost set a second table up.
Oh, so you're going to run okay. So
it's been a tough year in different ways. I am stretched to my capacity right now.
Right.
So
you're time poor.
Yeah.
Do you have an admin?
Just hired.
You did?
Or temporary. One of my good friends said, hey, I see that you're busy. I would love to help.
Oh, cool.
I was like, are you sure you still want to help? I was hesitant on that because I value your friendship. So
oh, yeah.
I told her I'd rather have a friend than a teammate right now.
Yeah.
So let's hold on that. And then I got to 9 months later and I'm still in the same situation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So while I look for an admin, that's what she's a fill-in for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for her.
Well, tell me this. So you have, it's awesome that you sort of have, rerun of this place. So what are you using the most? Because there's a lot of cool equipment in here. And I think for anybody watching this is if you have a standalone space, there might be some things that you would want to prioritize having access to all this. If you could pick, 20% of the stuff, what would you pick?
I use the barbell almost, if they're my background is in CrossFit. I'm also a runner. So
yeah.
Barbell for sure for CrossFit.
So you're barbell all the time. We can go over and we check out these rigs. These are cool. I like how they're branded.
Yeah.
Sornex, I think too, which is really nice.
So I try to load them. So barbell is a huge thing. That's not just for my CrossFitters. The other cool thing I get to work with is just active adults that they come in for back pain. They're like, wait, so how do I get stronger and stronger in life? And I'm like, this. Can we lift up something?
So there's there's a lot of cool stuff in here too. And maybe we can even show the little recovery section they have, which is pretty neat. So do you have clients that are doing that as well?
They'll come in, especially my baseball kids, they like to come in, get their session in with Strength Society, hop on the table for their arm, and they might come in here. So they'll chill out, spend a little time, they'll hop in here. We'll turn it on before they get here, and they'll hop in there and 20 minutes, and they're like, okay,
Does this get used a lot? Are people in the facility using it a ton? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, a couple years in, what's been the hardest part for you as far as kind of getting to where you are today? What's been the most challenging side of the business?
Balancing work and play.
Really?
I really just want to work.
You mean work-life balance?
Yeah. I just want to work. So
wow.
That's the hardest part. Initially, I thought it would be marketing, but the word of mouth has picked up. So that's
how are you primarily getting new people in the door? Referrals?
It's really past patients at this point.
Really?
I would say 60 to 70% of my new folks this year are word of mouth. So
how many of those people you're working with are sticking around for working on sort of long-term goals or general sort of health wellness, proactively as well?
Yeah, currently between 40 to 50% of my day-to-day
caseload. That's awesome. No, this is cool. What a cool space. I'm interested though for you, obviously we've kind of chatted about this 5 years from now, what does grit look like? What's a home run for you?
I don't have a definite answer, but what keeps coming up over and over is a place where people gather.
Yeah.
And why?
So a coffee shop.
Yeah. So I was like, it's hard to
turn into a coffee shop.
Yeah. It's weird to say because that's what I think about when, people gather is gyms and coffee shops.
That sounds awesome, by the way. That's just, you're onto something. I think that's a great idea.
Clearly, I'm not either of those.
Yeah.
Gym, a little bit more. But I just think about the high school athlete that has an injury.
Yeah.
They're pulled out of their team.
Totally. Yeah, they're removed from their support system. Right. Yeah.
Or the adult that has to pause their gym membership. That's their people.
You're right, it's community.
So I think it really disrupts their sense of community and belonging.
Yeah.
And so can I make the PT clinic a place where people gather? They do rehab together, whether that's a gym style or that's a bigger space that they can come in and do rehab together and plan it out. It's not necessarily, I don't know, that's just some thoughts that I have there, but I would love for a place where people gather.
Yeah. Well, no, this was awesome. Thank you so much for letting us highlight your space and show it off. We're so excited to see what happens over the next few years. And guys, I hope you like this one. We really had fun videoing this one, and we'll catch you in the next one.